Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is very, very important to me. It has to do with my space and cleansing my space. And we're gonna go over how I cleanse my home and myself. We're gonna do both today because today is my last day off from work, and I just like to do a reset every single week of how I feel, how my space feels, and how I can make my space feel just a little bit more free-flowing, less heavy, all the fun stuff. To get started, I pick out what I'm going to actually cleanse my space with. I do different things depending on how I feel and what's going on in my life. I have these pre-made sage bundles that I bought at a crystal shop in St. Louis that I absolutely love. This one is for my space, so this one has some cinnamon in it, sage, and then other different herbs in it, and it is just to cleanse the energy in the home. So I love this one. This is what I'm gonna be using today on my house. Then I haven't used this one yet, but this one specifically is an aura cleanse. And this aura cleanse is for happiness, vitality, and self-love, which I want and love and need in my life more, especially now that I started my full-time position again at a place and I don't have as much time to give myself self-love and time and energy, that kind of thing. So this is amazing and I needed this in my life, so we're gonna do that today as well. On days that I don't use the pre-blended sage bundles, I do just use regular incense. There are some incense that I have. This cute little box has all my incense in it. I do have, these ones are really cool, these big ones. They go on this right here, and they basically like burn down, so it just basically creates like a free flowing through these holes, and it's just so visually appealing. And obviously it cleanses as well, so I like those. But then I have the little mini sticks, and I like the mini ones too because I feel like the bigger, longer sticks can sometimes become a little bit too much, and they make the whole place smell a little bit too intense, especially since I have a smaller home. I don't like to use the bigger ones very much. So I guess let's get started with the sage cleansing because that one takes the most time, and I like to open the windows and it's a little hot out, so I want to like hurry up and do it. So we're gonna do that. Make sure when you do cleanse anything, you make sure you are very clear with your intentions, because it is very important to be very clear and know exactly what you want from what this sage cleansing is going to give for you, and have that in your mind, or you can say it out loud. I do both, just depending on who's in the house, who's not in the house. So I'm alone today, so I'm just going to be chanting out loud all my intentions of this cleansing and make sure that I have the best positive energy. Even if I don't feel well, this makes me feel good. So we're gonna do it that way. Another very important thing you have to remember when you are cleansing your home is that you go in clockwise motion. You go in a clockwise motion and you do all windows and doors and entryways. Yeah. So another part of how I cleanse my space and my house and myself is an egg cleanse. And if anybody's never heard of an egg cleanse before, it basically means that somebody put an evil eye on you. An evil eye could be like an evil intention, a mad intention, sending you negative thoughts, negative feelings, or really just like wishing ill on you, or like intentionally cursing you in a way. So like it can go from one extreme to the other, but it's really, really good to do an egg cleanse because if somebody has an evil eye on you, you can just kind of feel like really gross and icky for a little while because that negative energy really does affect everybody. And basically what you do is you take room temperature water. It's very important that it's room temperature because hot or cold water can obviously affect how the egg reads. But then you take an egg, again, room temperature, not cold, not hot. And what you're going to do is speak intentions to it. So you can do this in your head or out loud. I do it out loud since I'm alone, but if people are around, I do it in my head. So basically what I say personally is I want this egg to clear me of any ill will or negative intentions or negative feelings or negative emotions of anybody else that has been placed on me. And I want to completely rid myself of anything, only leaving positive energy, healthy thoughts, healthy energy, and light and love. So that is what this egg is going to do for me. And the next thing I do is rub this egg on every inch of my body. So you just rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it. It absorbs whatever negative energy you have in you and on you and sent to you, including your head. You rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it. If I could find the year that this dates back to, I will put it on the screen here. But people have been doing this for years, like thousands of years. And whether you believe it or not, that's your own prerogative, but I believe in it wholeheartedly. There's a lot of spiritual aspects of the world that do not rely on logic. And a lot of people have a hard time with that. There's a lot of logical thinkers in the world. And I like using logic as well, but there's a lot of things that you just cannot put onto logic as a normal situation would, I guess, prevail. So like a lot of spirituality takes faith and hope and just the ability to see in a different way. So you literally rub it everywhere, every single place. And you just do it until it feels right. You don't have to do it long. You don't have to do it short. But I'm just gonna do it until I feel like, okay, this is enough. And it is just what you make it. There's a lot of things spiritually that if you do them without intention, they're obviously not going to work because you didn't want it to work and you don't believe it's going to. So that's good for me. So you can go on Google, and I'll like put some links down below of websites that help you read the egg cleanse, because there are different rules for the entire thing. Like, what I mean by read it is I'm going to crack this egg into the water. I'm gonna let it sit for about like 10-15 minutes, and that's going to dissipate. It's going to show different things like stringy parts or bubbles or connections or red, any coloration, things like that. All that means something. So I'm going to link what website I use to read my egg cleanse down below. And once I'm done doing it, and I'll show you what it looks like. Basically, if you find any smelly water or blood, it could mean there's evil around you, any evil spirits, negative things like that. I did not find that, so thank God. Any bubbles means that negative energy was absorbed into the egg. I do have some bubbling, which is amazing. I want that shit out and into the water and cup, not on me. So that's amazing. I am pretty sensitive to other people's energies, so being around negative people, you know, it's just bound to happen. They just sometimes non-intentionally send their energy onto you. So basically, let's go more into the bubbles. If you're seeing large bubbles or balloons in the water, it means the egg absorbed a lot of negative energy. This may be a sign that you need to do a second cleansing ritual to fully rid yourself of negative energy. So if your bubbles are a little bit larger, try doing a second one. I've never had to do a second one, but if you feel like you need to do a second one, definitely do one. Cobwebs in the whites You may haven't had an evil eye placed on you, like intentionally. I do have some webbing in the bottom half, so some people might just be talking shit about me or whatever the case may be, which is, you know, very common nowadays. So definitely make sure that you're ridding yourself of that, because even though they're not saying it to your face, that energy is in the universe, it's still going to affect you and your timeline. Cobwebs can also be an indication that you are tangled up in a confusing situation that's causing you distress. I am going through a change in my job, and it is a little bit more of a stressful job, less pay, all that fun stuff. So that is what that could mean as well, not just like the negative sense to me. Needles or spikes. These are people around you with bad intent. I do have some spikes. I have 1, 2, I have about 2 spikes. So you can't get rid of every negative person around you. Not everybody's gonna have the best intentions for you. I did just join a job where I'm a little bit more involved in a team aspect, and like, obviously people are just going to be who they are. So ridding yourself of that pretty frequently is important. Seeing a face in the yolk means that you have an enemy. I've never seen a face in my yolk, but that's what that means. So like the red dots in the yellow part that make a face, just means that like an enemy is watching you or whatever the case may be. Clear water, you had no negative energy. I think it's hard nowadays, like I said. People do not lead with kindness and love anymore. It's very difficult to find those types of people. So chances are, if you have that lifestyle and you have those people in your life, that's amazing, and oh my God, I envy you. But unfortunately, most people have people in their lives with negative energy or output that they need to get rid of. So, and it's okay, like it's completely, you're able to get rid of it, basically is what I'm saying. How to get rid of this egg cleanse now. So when you get rid of the egg cleanse, you take this and you put a bunch of stuff on top. So I'm gonna go get that, hold on. There's a lot of things you can put onto it. So when somebody sends this stuff to you, intentionally or unintentionally, you can send that shit back. So what we're gonna do is, the first thing I start with is salt. Salt is protection, so you're gonna leave that layer first of salt so that it protects you from anything coming back to you. So I pour salt on that bitch. Salt, 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 salt. I'm gonna snuff it out with some salt. Okay? Make it a little bit cloudy, protect us from that. Some black pepper is, again, to protect us, but also like some spice, like sending that shit back. Then we add the real spice. So we're gonna send this back with some fire alongside it. So there's some cayenne pepper. Put that on top, and then I'm gonna top it with some sriracha. I don't have any more hot sauce, otherwise I'd use hot sauce, but some sriracha. Oh, why is this open? There we go. Boom. Send that shit back, fiery and hot. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump that shit down the toilet and flush. And intentionally say we released all of this negative energy back to where it came from, and it is not allowed to return. And that's how you do it. It's so amazing, it makes me feel good. And I learn a lot from it, because sometimes it's not always easy to pick out the negative people in your life and who doesn't always have your best interest at heart. Bye-bye, negative energy. See you later. You're not allowed to return ever. Peace out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from my cleansing routine, and I really hope you guys start doing this at least monthly. I do it weekly because I'm a little bit more sensitive to my surroundings and who I'm around, and I'm, again, like I said, in a new job with some negative people and like teammates, so I like to always cleanse myself so I don't bring it home. And I think it's very, very important to educate yourself on the cleansing experience and how you can make your space as comfortable as possible and as protected as possible. Our spirituality and our magnetic field, everything in that realm is just as important as our physical realm. So make sure that you are educating yourself, putting yourself out there, and protecting yourself, because not everybody has the best intentions for you. So I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so, so much, and I will see you next video.